Hi, I'm Ray. I'm here at React Miami with Josh Goldberg. Josh, thanks for sitting down and having a chat with me.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about who you are, who you work for, and what you do?
Sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Josh. I'm a full-time open source developer, which means I don't have a single company behind me. There are some who do. I'm not one of them. Instead, I work on my own on stuff that I think is useful and important for the JavaScript, TypeScript ecosystem. Mostly, I work on TypeScript ESLint, which is the tooling that lets you run ESLint and Prettier and similar tools on TypeScript code. So if you ever get the little squiggle in the editor, yell at me. It's my fault.
It's your fault.
Yeah.
It's not the code. It's
No,
you.
no.
You're the one that put that squiggly line.
Absolutely. And I made it red instead of yellow. And
Oh, nice.
yeah, that's me.
You gave your talk at React Miami. Was it today or yesterday?
4:02 p.m. today, Friday.
Oh, it's today, so you still haven't given your talk.
I haven't given it yet. I've only given it into the shower and the mirror like 15 times, not to any actual humans.
Thanks for sitting and having a chat with me before you got that done.
Yes.
How have you enjoyed the conference so far?
It's been really lovely. I like this a lot. We were just talking actually with Michelle, one of the organizers, about how they put so much care into the presentational flow of not having 5 technical talks in a row and getting like good speakers. And it's been lovely. I really like this conference.
Yeah, I think they've done a solid job. And yeah, you're right. Like having 5 talks in a row where you're looking at code on the screen every single talk can get frustrating. So the fact that they do a good job of spreading the talks out and having a diversity talks itself. And then as we were saying, the single track conference really lets you focus on the same thing that everybody else is focusing on. So conversations in the hallway tend to be the same with everybody.
For sure.
So do you have any experience with low code?
When you say low code, there are 2 things that come to mind, and I don't know which one is accurate or both or what. So the first thing is like a Netlify Vercel setup where like I have my app and maybe there's a YAML file or a JSON file somewhere, but like I just ship it, which I do have experience with. I use Netlify or Vercel for all my stuff. Then the other idea is you do a lot for me and I just configure the app to do what I want to do. Like one of my friends has a startup where there's very little actual code. It's just all like a visual programming thing.
Okay.
Are either of those in any way?
I think both of those are actually low code. So the first one that you talked about is more like a DevOps deployment backend type of low code, whereas the second with the more visual is more of a front end, right?
Yeah, because like there are these platforms now where you can describe your business logic in not necessarily UML, but like some way of this is my entity types and these are how they interact. And when you go through this REST or whatever API, this is the stuff that happens. And it's actually no code or low code that describes those things, which is both for backend and front end.
Yep. Definitely.
Question mark?
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Yeah.
Yes.
If you were told that you had to work with a low code platform, would you have any excitement and what would your concerns be?
I'd definitely be excited. I think learning anything new is exciting. I'd also be scared because learning anything new is scary for many. The fear is reasonable, but not long-term correct. I would want to learn about the low-code platform's code. Like I want to know how it's structured, what the right idioms are. And that is really interesting to me because I think there's a lot of kind of like contextual knowledge people build up of like good design patterns for code that I don't know how those translate into a low code pattern. And I'm sure there are all sorts of best practices and bad practices that you would want to learn.
Yeah.
It seems really intellectually stimulating.
No, that's true. So is there anything else that you'd want to talk about? Maybe a project you're excited about or
So my talk today is about setting up ESLint and Prettier and TypeScript for React. So what is static analysis? Tooling that does not run your code, that just looks at your code and gives you feedback. And I think that a lot of people have some experience with it. Maybe y'all have used TypeScript or like ESLint config plugin Airbnb.
Right.
Maybe developed some emotions, perhaps negative emotions around some of those tools. But it's incredibly useful, this stuff. And I think there's actually some similarity between low-code platforms, the ideals of them, and the ideals of static analysis, that we should be freed up to work on the stuff that actually matters, translating our ideas of the logic, the business, the whatever in the app into running execution. And configuring platforms or like appeasing TypeScript or appeasing ESLint, that stuff should only be there as a way to make sure we're doing stuff right. It shouldn't be the stuff we spend all of our time doing.
Right.
So learning the right ways to, say, use ESLint for logic and not for stupid formatting concerns, and use Prettier, for formatting. Like that stuff really helps you be more productive as a developer.
Okay, cool. Thank you for taking the time to sit and have a chat with me.
Yeah, cheers.